Yeah. Yeah. All right. We are live on YouTube. We are live on YouTube. How's everyone doing today? How's it going? Welcome to episode number 945 of Navigating the Modern World with Eli, the Walking with Purpose live edition, live today from Red Morton Park here in Redwood City, California, where I live. I just actually saw some information about Redwood City today. I'll probably share that in just a little bit. Financial information or cost of living information. But anyway, today we have a very important topic to discuss. And it's very busy at the park today. Like, I haven't seen it this busy in a while. We've been having like 60, 61 degree weather, even though it's a little bit overcast. The weather has been warmer than it has been, so people are coming up the park, and I don't have my gloves on today. It's about 61 degrees right now. Now let's see if YouTube fixed the mirror image issue on the front-facing camera. I doubt it. I don't think they fixed it yet. But we'll see when we come up on some signs here. But today we're going to be talking about why discussing politics shouldn't offend you. Everyone should participate. Why discussing politics shouldn't offend you. Everyone should participate. Now let's take a look. And we're still flipped. They haven't fixed it yet. Well, it is what it is. I can't control that. It's out of my control. Anyway. So, before I get to that, every day I look at what time the sun is going to set and the weather. I really plan these walks because I want to make sure, if it's going to rain, I can find a gap where it's not raining. I want to know if I'm going to need gloves or not, right? And so when you go to Google and you type in sunset, Redwood City, California, it also gives you other information on Redwood City. And I saw this website recommended where they were saying that Redwood City is like the fourth most expensive city to live in the U.S. And I was just looking at, the comparison of the cost of living, housing, food, etc., right? And just to compare, just to compare it, the average rent now in Redwood City is $3,700 a month. The national average is about $1,500, like $1,550 or something, like $1,550. On average, they said the cost of living in Redwood City is 63% higher than the national average. Fuck. Hey, Phil, how you doing? You said 3,700. It is. The average rent in Redwood City per month is $3,700, and that's going to get you like a one bedroom. Now you can get them a little bit cheaper, but even the apartments that are $2,800 or $3,000 are a shithole. They're a shithole that isn't even worth $1,000. But because they're in Redwood City, you can get close to $3,000 a month for a shithole. I thought that was interesting. I also saw the average cost of a burger in Redwood City, a regular burger, is a little over $7, where the national average is about $5.50. And the reason why they're more expensive here is because, the minimum wage for fast food workers since I believe it was last year or the year before is now $20 an hour. And that's increased prices at, fast food restaurants tremendously. You go to McDonald's now, dinner for two is like $35, $40. And some restaurants is $50. Some like Carl's Jr. and stuff like that, depending on what you get. You get these value meals now where you get a burger, fries, and a Coke or whatever, or a shake. And they're like $17 to $20. My Online 365, how are you doing? Great to see you. Hey, thank you so much for reaching out to me on Facebook. I'm so sorry that it took so long to get back to you. When I had decided I'm going to be leaving YouTube, and I thought about it over the 6-week period, and I decided to come back. But when I did that video and left for 6 weeks, I'm no longer a coach. I haven't been a coach for a while. So the fact that you're calling me coach is trolling. Or maybe you haven't been around in a while. Yeah, I'm just Eli. I'm not coach. Please don't call me coach, okay? Hey, Garrett, how's it going? I think you're trolling, Garrett, because only people that troll me from that stupid fucking hate group that's still obsessed with me, they call me coach. That's fine. No problem. Apology accepted. I'm just being real. You're from the hate group. Because other people that truly have supported me don't call me coach. I haven't been Coach Eli in 6 to 8 months or maybe longer. That's been middle of last year, so it's all good. It is what it is. My Online 365. It's not politics that offends. It's the way they are discussed, saying I'm not trying to offend, then say if they doesn't change the original message. Well, we'll talk about that, My Online 365, and thank you so much for being here again. I still teach personal development, and it's just that, I'm running my business now under my organization, the Genuine Networking Association, or GNA for short, which is now short for GNA Network. And so it's more about just teaching personal development in general. Now, who knows, I might bring the Coach Eli brand back. I still have, the websites and the emails and all that. They're just not actively being used. I might bring them back. Who knows? Probably not, but I'm not ruling it out at this point. But we'll just see. But, yeah, My Online 365, what you're saying is, there he goes again. Raleigh, just leave me the hell alone. Leave me alone. You want a bot. Okay? You want attention. You want to troll. You want to feel like you can break into anyone's shows. I told you not to email me the last time, and then you emailed me. Don't email me ever again, okay? Don't email me ever again. Because I don't want to be bothered by you. Okay? That's it. How pathetic, man. You think you're getting to me, or do you think that you're looking more stupid and pathetic? Taking time every day away from your family to troll someone and bot someone and then email someone. You know what I did with your email? I saw your email and I just deleted it. I didn't even read it. I'm not going to read any of your shitty emails, Raleigh, or any shitty emails from fucking trolls. okay? Or haters. I'm not. But you want to keep doing it. You want my attention, I'll give you my attention, and I'll laugh in your fucking face, okay? And you're a MAGA. You're a MAGA, you're a Trump supporter, you act like Trump, and like attracts like, right? And honestly, we're not alike. So you're not here because you like me or like what I do. You're here to fuck around. You're here to fuck around because you're bored, lonely, and miserable. Please, leave me alone. Leave my people alone. Okay? It's not Walter. No. No, it's some other dude that has been... He's a real person. He trolls a lot of people throughout some drama groups out here on YouTube. He's just some bored, lonely, miserable man. He's got a family and kids, and he's self-employed, and he runs his own businesses. And that apparently doesn't keep him busy enough to the point of where he has time to bot and troll people regularly. It's pretty fucking pathetic. It's like a disease, right? And he's a MAGA. He's a MAGA Trump supporter. Go figure, right? I'm not surprised. Your behavior is just like Trump, Raleigh. It is. That's my opinion, okay? But that's cool. We can call people out. We'll call people out, and I don't care. We'll call people out. People need to know what's going on when they come here and see 142 people and there's only like 5 or 10, maybe 15, maybe 20, all right? And there's no retaliation. I'm not going to do anything. There's nothing to do. The only thing you can do is basically call him a fucking loser, pathetic, immature, mid-50s, maybe late 50s man. That's all you can do. And he gets his rocks off, right? Because I'm giving him attention. I'll give you attention, Raleigh. Do you want me to give you attention? Do you want me to give you a pat on the back? Right? Is your wife not paying as much attention to you? Are you bored of your family, Raleigh? Like, you want to go? You want to talk trash? Let's talk trash, Raleigh. But never email me again, because the next time you email me, that's going to be considered harassment. Okay? But see, you're going to be like Trump. Like, you're above the law, Raleigh. You're going to be like Donald J. Trump, who thinks is the law. Donald J. Trump thinks he's above the law and is the law. And see, Raleigh, the more and more you get called out, the more you're antagonized to violate the law, including my rights of no harassment. I'll give you peace of my mind. No problem. Trying to make America a better place, trying to make the world a better place, trying to help people learn to deal with miserable fucks like yourself. What is the point of changing the amount who's watching? That's a great question. That's a great question. There is no point. The man is a miserable, mentally ill person. He has mental illness. That's why. He's a grown-ass man in his late 40s that is not satisfied enough at home with his wife, between his wife and kids, apparently. Apparently, he has too much free time on his hands. So he has this program where either he buys botted views or he has a program that does it for free. He has some type of program, right? Because he only bots like at 100 and something, right? So I think he has a free program that does that, because he wouldn't pay to do this every day. You can bot people with like thousands of views, live viewers, but that's going to cost a lot more money through a dedicated company that has massive servers doing the botting. He's doing this straight from his house on his own fiber optic network. Right? So get your rocks off, Raleigh. Get your rocks off. Laugh. Do what you got to do. And finally fucking move on, dude. Newsom 2028. Yeah. Yeah, honestly, I'd like to see that. I don't think it's going to happen in 2028. Now, would I be surprised if Newsom ran in 2028? No, but I don't think he's going to run until at least 2032. Got people coming. I'm going to wait a second. A lot of people criticize Newsom, like Trump calls him New Scum, right? But the truth of the matter is that I think Newsom would be one of the best presidents we've ever had. There is no person I've seen more dedicated to doing the right thing for the people, regardless of their political party preference or choice, than Newsom. DeSantis may run 28. Well, okay. I'm not a big fan. I think you know that. I'm not a big fan of that dude. I think you know why. Yeah, DeSantis is from Florida, right? Yeah. Republican from Florida. Yeah. Yeah, I used to have this friend of mine out here named R.J. Sandifer. He's from Florida. He's not a bad guy, but he's so indoctrinated into these drama groups. He's a good person, but he's a blind and autistic YouTuber that is easily manipulated by trolls and haters out here. So, I'd love to do content with him, but it's just not going to happen. And he was always talking about DeSantis. I was never a big fan. Him and I disagreed on that. But the thing about R.J. Sandifer, even though he's a Republican, he's a MAGA. R.J. is a fair person. He's a fair person. He doesn't attack people based on their political party preference or choice. He just states how he feels, and we can agree to disagree and move on, right? DeSantis would be a good candidate, in your opinion. And listen, I respect your opinion. I'm not a big DeSantis fan, and I don't even think R.J. Sandifer was a big DeSantis fan, from what I remember. RJ, by the way, RJ, I saw one of your postings while I was on hiatus. And, you were saying that, Eli will be back. A lot of people were saying Eli wouldn't come back, after he decided to leave. And you were right, RJ. I'll give you credit. You know me very well. You know me better than most people I've encountered out here on YouTube, right? That's all good. It's all good. But, let me see here. All right, so let's get to the topic here, and let's talk about, why, some people are pretty much afraid to talk about politics, or don't like discussing politics, right? And this needs to be changed. It does. I was inspired to do this topic by some feedback I received behind the scenes. I'm not going to mention the people that sent me this feedback, But what I was basically told is that, hey, Eli, I don't like talking about politics, especially online. I don't like talking about politics. And I just don't participate regarding content that involves politics. Okay, it's your choice, it's your opinion. I'll respect that, but at the same time, let me share why I feel that creates a universal problem. Okay, now, there's one person that sent me this. Particularly, this person's going to know who they are. I'm not going to mention their name. And I want to be respectful because I have a lot of respect for this person, and they're a good friend. They are conservative. They are a Trump supporter. They do not consider themselves a MAGA conservative, just a regular conservative. And that's why I respect this person, because this person actually is very reasonable. This person agrees with some things that Trump does and doesn't agree with other things. And I respect that, totally respect that, right? But here's where the problem lies. So this person understands why I talk about politics and why I will continue to talk about politics. And if that keeps you and others away from my channel or content, that is your choice. But there's a reason why I'm talking about politics. And the reason is because social media has been dominated by right-wing propaganda for the last 10 plus years. You got the Joe Rogans, you had the Alex Jones, you have all of these podcasters. 8 out of 10 podcasts are run by right-wing podcasters. Right-wing focused propaganda, conspiracy theories, etc., right? So the right, the conservatives on the right are dominating social media. Their voice is louder than any other voice on social media. I've said this before, but I'm going to clearly emphasize this today and put out, ooh, this is cool. Hang on a second. This is like a Pac-Man. Open every day. Redwood City Parks Parkade, arcade games and mini golf. New location, Courthouse Square. Holy Moses. So they have a park with an arcade. Wow, Redwood City has really done a great job of expanding the city. Wow. I gotta take Dawn to that. That seems really cool. Maybe I'll take her to that sometime this week, the parkade. I think she would love that. Wow. That's a cool sign, too, I gotta say. Well, like I was mentioning earlier, when you live in the 4th most expensive city in the country, go fucking figure. I mean, I love Redwood City. This is my hometown. I was born and raised here. Interesting idea, parkade. Yeah, well, you know what's interesting in my online 365 is that here in Redwood City, California, because I've lived here pretty much all my life, born and raised, I've seen all the changes, right? And downtown right now almost looks like San Francisco. They got tall buildings and shit, right? They got, everything. Like, it's just they're building tons of apartments here, and they haven't stopped. They're still building lots of office buildings, etc. And Redwood City in San Mateo County was the first city to allow cannabis shops, legal cannabis shops. Now they have 4 of them. Then here in San Mateo County, finally another city said, oh, well, if Redwood City is doing this weekend too, San Bruno opened up a cannabis shop. So I got to give it to Redwood City because, hey, you know what? It'll attract people from outside of the city and even outside of the county to come see the stuff here, bringing in what? More tax dollars, more revenue, right? And they're doing cool stuff. They're giving the people what they want, which is great. They're giving us what we want. Now, do I think the expansion of apartments and all that is is overwhelming? It is. But what do you expect? It's 2025. Whether I like it or not, and you know when they keep building, it kind of starts to affect the cityscape and all that. But what are you gonna do? Things are progressing. It's growth, right? How do you afford to live in such an expensive place? Well, my family bought properties here over 50 years ago, and my brother and I have invested into the family estate, and that's how we afford to do it. You know, we all live on properties that are owned by our family's estate, and we're buying into it. So basically, what we're doing is we're paying into our estate what it would cost us to live in any other part of the country. So, you know, I have to admit that, hey, we're lucky, we're fortunate. Not everyone has that option. If I didn't have that option, if my brother and I didn't have that option, we'd probably be in the Central Valley or Oregon or, you know, Nevada or what do you call it, Arizona, right? But I love the Bay Area. I love where I live. This is home. This is where I was born and raised. This park here is where I played Little League Baseball before all the prices went up. Like, see, my family, we've all been living here before all this crazy inflation happened, right? And the high-tech boom and all that. That's what drove the prices up here. But yeah, humbly speaking, man, listen, you know I'm fortunate. I know my brother's fortunate. You know, it's we're lucky because there's no way most people could afford to buy a house out here these days. You know, little tiny shack is 1.5, 1.8 million. That's insane. But when you have family that bought homes in the 70s and 80s for less than 100 grand, or, you know, in 1984, my dad bought his dream home, a 3-story home for $400,000. I think online it shows $250,000, but he put a little more into it. So yeah, he got it for $250,000, but then he put in a little more money into the construction of it and all that. That's how you do it. I hope that answers your question. He's established in that community. Well, the truth of the matter is I have family here, and my brother and I are able to buy into it. Obviously, like, what's going to happen? You know, my mother and my aunt are the last two besides my brother and I remaining. So where's that all going to go to? And it's not even that. Look, you know, it's a fair question, and I want to be transparent about it because in the past, I've been ridiculed about this because I was trying to protect my family and trying to protect all this and be humble, right? It's hard to be humble and protect your family and do all that shit on the internet. But at this point right now, I don't give a fuck. Let's be transparent and be real. $400,000 in 1984 is a fortune. Well, the home is worth $3.5 million now. So there's your answer. And again, I'm only saying that not to show up, but to say it's one hell of an investment. It's a big house. So, you know, that's the thing. Yeah, no, 400,000 even in 1984. I mean, that's a lot of money. It is. It's a lot of money. But imagine trying to buy that house today in today's market for 3.5 million. It's just insane. But anyway, yeah, like I said, transparency is what I'm all about. Your father must have been minted. No, my father, thank you for asking. God rest his soul. My father passed away almost 15 years ago. My father would bust his ass. He would work 14 hours a day, 7 days a week. He used to sell cars initially, and in the last 20 years of his life, he sold real estate. I shared this story before. I'll share it again. My father, in that same year he bought the house, he needed money for the down payment and all that. I'm not saying this to show off. I'm saying this is how hard of a worker my dad was. My mom started working as I got older too. But, and this is where I get it from my father, is that he, in 1984, he made $200,000 selling cars. He sold 61 and a half cars. Now, there's two different ways to sell cars. You can sell them via fleet, or you could sell them individually, which is harder, and you make more money selling them individually, right? And what's a half car? Basically, it's when you or another salesperson starts the deal, and if that salesperson can't finish it, the other salesperson finishes the transaction, and you both split commission 50-50, right? So my father in 1984 sold 61 and a half cars. And I believe he was working for Mazda at that point. Mazda was really, really big back then. They're still big, but they're not as big, right? Now, so yeah, in 1984, if you look at $200,000, at that, in today's money, that's probably, if we go before Trump got in office, because things have gone down a little bit, we're looking at about $750,000 in today's money. That's just over one a week. Sorry, he sold 61 and a half cars in 1 month. Did I say in a year? He sold 61 and a half cars in one month. He made $200,000 that year where he sold 61 and a half cars. I'm sorry, did I get that wrong? Maybe I didn't explain it as clearly as possible. Yeah. So he sold 61 and a half cars in 1 month. And in that year where he sold 61 and a half cars in 1 month, he made $200,000 the whole year. And then that's what I believe he used to put the down payment on his dream home. But thank you for asking. I appreciate that. Yeah, trolling or not, I don't care. I don't think you're trolling. Even if anyone's trolling, it doesn't matter. Transparency, Let's just talk about things, right? Let's just keep it real, right? No worries, nothing to hide, right? I'm at the point right now where it's all an open book over here. If we're going to help people, we're going to be open. We're going to keep it real. We're going to keep it transparent. Unlike Donald Trump, who's not transparent at all. Unlike Elon Musk, who's not transparent at all, right? Right? No need to try to hide or protect things anymore, because I know how to better handle myself on the internet. And that's exactly what I'm talking about here today, is that you've got a lot of these right-wingers that are dominating social media, right? And that affects all creators. Even creators that aren't talking about politics. Like, I wasn't talking about politics initially when I was running these same channels under my Coach Eli label. There's some people coming, so I'm going to wait. I wasn't talking about politics initially. But because of the way I was speaking, a lot of these right-wingers started saying, you sound like a liberal sack of shit. You sound like a libtard. And at that point, that used to trigger me. It used to bother me. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? I'm not talking about politics. But because how I was sharing my thoughts and opinions about modern day dating relationships and other aspects, these people categorized me, these right-wingers that have been dominating the internet. I didn't know it at that time, but I figured it out. These right-wingers that have been dominating the internet, part of their spiel is to try to just knock down any slight left liberal like myself that has a difference of opinion. And I wasn't even seeking an opinion. I wasn't even talking about politics. See, politics comes into everything whether you like it or not. I started to realize that. So it doesn't matter. If I don't talk about politics, one of these MAGA conservative podcasters or content creators on YouTube or other platforms, they will come out and they will say Eli's opinions are a liberal extremist. He's a liberal sack of shit. He's a libtard. He's, far left. He's a feminist, right? He's a cuckold, right? Like all these things, like all these right-wingers, they've been dominating the internet because they're the majority. And since they're the majority, they drown out anything and everything else. And that's why I'm out here talking about politics. And that's why more people on the left and down the middle are starting to talk about politics, because we need to level off the playing field. The playing field has been skewed to the point of where Donald J. Trump can come in and say, oh shit, well, we got about 80-90% of the internet that's dominating through our party. So Donald Trump and even Elon Musk, who was a liberal and supported Biden in the last administration, but even when Elon Musk saw from a business standpoint, it'd be better to be a fake conservative, just like Trump is. He's a fake conservative too, right? There's another creator out here on YouTube, Tim Pool. He's a fake conservative too. You are Tim Pool. You're a fucking fake conservative, because you used to be a liberal, and when you saw the opportunity that there's a larger audience of right-wingers out here that are cuckoo and easy to manipulate and suck into your vortex, watch your stuff, make ad revenue, get super chats and all that. All you had to do is pretend to be a conservative. In essence, all these motherfuckers are grifters. All of these, not all, some of the right-wingers are definitely on the right. Joe Rogan, I think, has always been on the right. And so has Alex Jones, right? There are some people that have always been on the right. The people like Tim Pool, Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and many others are pretending to be conservatives because they've seen success by other conservatives such as Joe Rogan, Alex Jones, and others, right? They see success and they're like, okay, we're not going to get the attention or make the money if we're liberals. Okay, I'm hearing some music somewhere. Am I online 365? So you think Joe Rogan? Well, so you're telling me Joe Rogan is a fake conservative? He's also one of those fake conservatives, pretending to be conservative because it's more profitable to him? Because everything he does on his podcast is all about right-wing propaganda. He's anti-left. So what you're saying is he's actually originally a liberal, but he saw the opportunity. Well, he may not say his actual party, but everything that he spews is right-wing propaganda, bro. Everything Joe Rogan spews. What was that thing, the ivermectin? What was that thing that Rogan was saying, instead of taking the COVID shot, take this ivermectin or whatever? Do you remember that? That was a big controversy, big conspiracy theory. That really pissed me off because I believe in vaccines, and I believe vaccines save lives. It's been proven. Before the COVID vaccine came out, we had over 1 million people that died from COVID. And then once Biden got Pfizer and Moderna to come in and start vaccinating us, it leveled off. But to these conspiracy theorists, that's not evidence enough. I didn't take any of those C-19 shots. Well, maybe you don't believe in them. Listen, it's your choice, regarding what you want to believe in. But see, I look at the facts. I look at what's actually happening. What was happening before those shots were released to the public, and what happened afterwards. People were dying, man. 1 million people died. People were dying. Chris Cuomo had COVID. He was broadcasting live on CNN from his house. Guy's sick as a dog. He's like, whether you believe it or not, this shit's real. He's like, this is real. Here I am. I'm sick as a dog. And then we got vaccinated, and guess what? The death rate leveled off. People stopped dying. Is that just coincidence? Why did Fauci need to be pardoned? Why did Fauci need to be pardoned? Well, I think you know the answer to that. I think you know the answer to that. Donald J. Trump is such a... He has so many screws loose. Donald J. Trump only cares about himself. And he'll go after anyone and everyone that doesn't suit his agenda. I can ask you the same question regarding Eric Adams. Why did Donald J. Trump pardon Eric Adams? Why did Donald J. Trump pardon the insurrectionists that violently and viciously attacked police and was destroying the Capitol, and they were trying to murder Mike Pence, who was certifying the election, where Biden won legitimately, and Trump was crying like a big fucking baby, saying there was widespread voter fraud. I can ask you, listen, dude, listen, I'm not mad at you. I'm just saying, look, we could do this back and forth all day, right? And we're on social media, and you know what? This is the hot topic, and we need something to talk about, so let's talk about it, right? But we could do this back and forth all day. I like Fauci. I think Fauci's a good person. The far right or the MAGAs, they hate Fauci. The MAGAs hate anything legitimate. The MAGAs just by default hate everything. I watch a vid called Shedding by Hugo Talks. Okay, I'll check it out. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I go back on the replay and I look at the comments, and I'll go and view when people recommend or suggest something. I go and I view that stuff, because look, it's all a matter of opinion. Some things are facts, but other things we have opinions, right? I'm not saying that Biden should have pardoned all the people he did, but I do understand why Biden pardoned some people. And, anytime a pardon happens, everyone's going to question it. Well, why is there a need for a pardon if you're innocent, right? Because here's the thing. How many people have been wrongfully convicted of murder and been sitting on death row and then ended up dying for not committing the crime, right? How many people are wrongfully convicted of stuff, wrongfully accused of things, right? And then when you have Trump, who basically has become an authoritarian, he's running an authoritarian type of government. There's no democracy in there, right? And lately, the big deal has been Trump is saying, I am the law. And I'm the president, and I set the law. And I decide what's within the law and not. And that's why I think Trump is trying to destroy all their branches of government, right? What's the point of having Congress, the Department of Justice, right? What's the point of having all those government agencies When to Trump, he thinks, well, fuck them. I'm the law. So, so I mean, I don't know what to say. It's we're living in a strange time. Like either Trump is trolling us for attention, just trying to get more attention to him and trying to get more people to buy into him, so then he can send you emails like he sends people on his list, and he's trying to sell, the MAGAs everything under the sun. I think Trump is one big troll and one big grifter. That's all. Trump is a troll and a grifter. Trump is the biggest fucking grifter that's ever fucking lived. And now Musk is saying, okay, well, if Trump is grifting that well, let me come and join him. I'll be a grifter too. And he'll protect me. And I can break the law to grow my business, and then Trump will just fucking pardon me, right? Right? And that's why Musk, donated almost $300 million to Trump's re-election campaign. You think he gave him money for nothing? Or do you think he wanted to be in the position he's in today? Come on, let's be real here. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. It doesn't matter if you're on the left, right, or down the middle. Forget about political party, preference or choice. That just speaks for itself. Come on, man. Let's be reasonable here, for Christ's sake. It's some of the funniest shit I've ever seen. It's also serious shit, too, at the same time. It is. It's only 11 minutes, but it will open up your eyes about those shots. Yeah, listen, I respect your opinion, and I'll watch it. But I will tell you this, I will never stop using vaccines. They have worked for me. They have kept me healthy. I'm 51 years old. My resting heart rate on average is about 60 to 70 beats per minute. My average oxygen is 98%. That's very high. I've got normal blood pressure. Those stats weren't vaccines. No, I understand that. I understand that. But illnesses can make you sick that can affect your vitals. And if vaccines are protecting you from extreme illnesses, I just took the shingles shot, and I got to go back and get my second shingles shot. I think it's next week or the week after. Going back to CVS to get that. At 50 years old, you're supposed to get the shingles shot. Let me tell you, that shot hurt like a mofo. And it knocked me out for a couple of days. I hope the second shot is not as bad. But it does work. Once it's in your system, it's highly effective. The flu shot works pretty well for the most part, but there are new strains of the flu this year that they're going to add to next year's flu shot. Like sometimes, you take the flu shot and you still get sick like I did. I took the flu shot at the beginning of this year. Normally the flu shot has protected me well. But this year I heard there are a lot of new and very severe strains of the flu, of influenza. All right? And I got really sick. I'm about 95% recovered. Like I was out for like a week straight. And then I've been intermittent since then. Now, I think I'll be back to normal now. I'm feeling okay. I feel great with 0 vaccines. Well, that's good. Well, listen, man, I'm really glad it's working for you. Like, let's no disrespect, right? No criticism. I'm just saying whatever works for you works for you. Right? Whatever you believe in, whatever works for you, works for you. Right? And hopefully you live to be 100 plus years old with no vaccines or no vitamins or no supplements or anything. In an ideal world, it would be great if we didn't need any of these things. But we don't live in an ideal world, We're living in a world with lots of variables that can make us sick. And so we've had to protect our bodies from these illnesses. Now, you probably have a super strong immune system. I do too. But you probably have a super strong immune system. You're probably in good health, good shape, and all that, right? And that's working for now, and hopefully it works for the rest of your life. But as you get older, let's see what happens. I mean, as you get older, you may have no choice but to, take some of these supplements or, get some of these vaccines or something. A lot of senior citizens died from COVID. And when they started vaccinating the ones that were still alive, it saved their life. It protected them. I don't trust doctors these days. That's a fair statement. That's a fair statement because it's not easy trusting anyone, but you got to trust somebody. And you just got to find a good network of doctors. My girlfriend Dawn and I were a part of the Sutter Health Palo Alto Medical Foundation. These are some of the best doctors on the planet. And Sutter Health is a nonprofit organization, which most hospitals are nonprofits, right? But the amount of care, my girlfriend Dawn's been through a lot, and I got her involved with Sutter Health Palo Alto Medical Foundation 2.5 years ago, and it's turned her life around. And she was dealing with a lot of complications and issues health-wise, and her primary care physician, along with the network of specialist doctors, have helped her out tremendously. So, I mean, look, to each its own. I get where you're coming from. I understand. Some people, I can't trust doctors. I don't like vaccines. Look, I mean, it's your choice. But I'm for doctors. I'm for vaccines. I'm for a lot of this stuff. You're not. But that's okay. Hey, I mean, that doesn't mean we can't get along. We have a difference of opinion. And all I can say is I hope and pray for the best that, you going down that route doesn't affect your health, long term, Third and final lap. Those shots weren't vaccines. Well, that's your opinion. I disagree with that, but it's okay. It's okay. So like I was saying, okay, you've got a huge army of right-winged content creators constantly spreading right-winged propaganda as gospel, right? They spread a lot of this shit that's not true or highly exaggerated. They spread it as gospel, right? Now, some of them do it intentionally, knowing they're making a mistake, and some of them don't even realize it. Some of them actually believe they're not making a mistake. The people that are intentionally spreading the misinformation knowingly, they're doing it for profit because they know there's an audience of people that believe the lies and the bullshit within the misinformation or disinformation that's being spread. So you've got a lot of very, at least you can call them unethical content creators, creating content that they don't agree with, or they knowingly are, spreading lies and misinformation, but they're doing it because it's highly profitable to them. And that's exactly what Donald Trump does. So I mean, how can you even get these people to stop doing that when our president is the king of doing that, right? Our president's the king of lies, misinformation, and just trolling. Like Trump is a troll, okay? He is a real life troll. He loves the camera. That's why the dude almost every day, have you noticed, out of any president we've ever had, Trump has had more press conferences. He's done more live conferences from the Oval Office and other places than any other president. It's almost every day. The dude loves attention. He loves the camera. He loves being in the spotlight. And I was hearing some things the other day. I was like, okay. So Trump initially, he was I think he banned the Associated Press either temporarily or for a while from the White House. And the Associated Press is a nonprofit organization that most news agencies like CNN, Fox, and the rest of them get their information from. He didn't get shot. He rubbed ketchup on his ear. Are you telling me that Trump getting shot was fake? Are you telling me you think that Trump put on an act so he could, whine and complain? I mean, people saw bullets. Yeah, I don't buy that, dude. I think honestly that dude was trying to kill Trump. That young kid that the Secret Service snipers ended up taking out. No, like he skinned Trump's ear. No, that was all real. That was all real. I mean, you were literally looking at 1 inch, and Trump would be gone. Because that would have hit him right in the noggin. Right in the noggin. Goodbye. You're done. Now, some people are wishing harm upon Trump because they don't like what he's doing. They're wishing that would have taken him out. They're wishing that his time comes. Like, I'm not going to wish harm upon anyone, including Trump, right? I've never been the type of person that's wanted to win an argument or win anything by taking out the competition, right? By taking them out, physically taking them out, right? I think the best way to do it is to stand up for what you believe in, outlast and outwit the competition. That's why I'm still going 7 years later. But yeah, no, that there's no conspiracy on that, man. That was a liberal dude that didn't like Trump. I mean, even I'll come out and say, I can't stand Trump. I can't stand anything on the right. Well, some things I like on the right, but I can't stand most of what's happening today, right? I'm not saying that I haven't liked anything ever done on the right, but nowadays I don't. But at the same time, I don't wish harm upon anyone. I don't wish harm upon Trump or anyone else. I don't think it's right. I think you need to play fair, right? Just because Trump isn't playing fair doesn't mean we have to not play fair to fix the issues we feel he's creating, right? You know, I heard a line on the show White Collar one time. The former boss of Special Agent Peter Burke, who was wrongfully forced to retire early, met him for coffee after he got terminated and said, you know, Peter, sometimes you have to redefine those lines to stay within them for the better good of the cause, right? And see, this is what I think Trump is trying to do. This is what a lot of cops will do. And see, we can argue this, right? And I can understand this, right? I'm going to wait here a second for some people to pass. Give me a second here. happen to be going my way, and I would rather not have him in the background. Okay. So sometimes, you know, cops have to do things that are against the law to bait the criminal to do something further against the law than they've already done, so that way they can catch him, in a video. Like that's what's called a sting, right? A sting operation is basically where cops have to pretend, and they're breaking the law, they're pretending to break the law because they're trying to catch the criminal. Now, I could understand that. Now, some people might come out and say, well, that's entrapment and that's against the law, right? Well, let me ask you folks this. Do you want like cartels on the street? Do you want murderers on the street? Do you want sexual abusers or assaulters on the street? What do you want, right? We want good, decent people that aren't going to harm anyone, right? So sometimes you got to do things to take him down, right? But we only use those methods when absolutely necessary. If that's the only way to take the criminal down, then you got to do what you got to do. That doesn't mean you can redefine the lines of the law in every situation based on how you interpret the law. See, that's what Donald Trump is doing. Donald Trump is trying to redefine the laws and our Constitution, shit that's hundreds of years old, right? Some of it's new, a lot of it's just been around for a while, right? Trump is trying to redefine the lines of the law and say that I am the law. I'm the sheriff in town. It doesn't matter what the DOJ, Department of Justice, says. It doesn't matter what the House or the Senate say in Congress. It doesn't matter what Supreme Court justices say, right? Fuck these people. And that's why he's trying to dismantle all of them, or at least put people in position of these branches of government. So that way, when he tries to, basically redefine the law in the executive branch, which is him, in the White House, and people try to question him and sue him, like a lot of people are suing Trump right now for all the shit he's doing. Trump is saying, okay, well, I am the law, but I also know the way things are set up right now until I completely try to dismantle the government and make it an authoritarian type of government, right? I've got to get these Supreme Court justices under wraps. I've got to get the House under wraps. I got to put people in all branches of government that are going to bow down, kiss my ass, and suck my you-know-what, right? That's what's going on. That's exactly what's going on. Hey, whether you're left, right, down the middle, let's be real. That's what's going on. The only thing I like about Trump is he's securing the border. Is he really even doing that? No. Biden was already starting to do that. Like, there's no question about the fact that we need to handle immigration better. No question about it. Right? But Trump is coming in and trying to make it sound like all the Democrats in the past have fucked things up so bad and he so quickly fixed things. That is not the case. People that are reasonable and normal have seen the changes happen between each administration, whether we had a Democrat or Republican president. But Trump is trying to make it come off like he's the Messiah that's fixed everything. And he's got a group of very seriously mentally ill MAGA people that believe every word that comes out of his mouth. So he's got to keep feeding these people what they want to hear, even though that's not the truth of what's happening. That's the sad part about it. Got some people coming. All right. There's a guy coming. I wanted to get out of his way. I mean, is he really doing a good job of securing the border? All Trump has done is make idle threats. He's threatening people. He's scaring people, right? He's using scare tactics, which is something that a lot of right-wingers on YouTube, they do the same thing. Like a lot of these right-wingers on YouTube, if they want to abuse your content and use your copyright excessively beyond fair use, if you try to take them down with a copyright, they make threats to, oh, I'm going to sue you. Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to report you here. It's like, these are the biggest fucking whiners. These are the biggest fucking whining crybabies that have ever existed, right? And now you're seeing in Trump's second administration why these people behave this way. They are replicas of Trump. They are basically acting just like Trump. These people think that they're entitled to all this shit. They think it's their right to do these things to people and treat people this way, right? Why? Because that's Trump's agenda. He started that in his first administration back 2016, 2017. So people saw that. They saw him doing this. They're like, okay, if he's getting away with this shit, so can I. But we need more people. We need more and more people to start voicing their opinions on the internet. My friend that sent me a message, and I got feedback. I've been getting feedback from a lot of people. And by the way, sometime this week, I'm still going to do a comment stream because I have a lot of stuff to go over on my Facebook that I'll put out publicly. My Facebook is still locked down to friends only. I may put some public stuff out eventually, but Seymour Troll. Who's Joy Reid? I haven't heard that name. Who's Joy Reid? I haven't heard that name pop up. There's just so much going on in the political world. Like it's hard to keep up with it. Oh, is that woman that's been calling out Trump? Oh. Are you talking about? Yeah, that's the woman that's been calling out Trump on MSNBC, right? Yeah, they also clip her videos on YouTube, right? Yeah, I think that's who you're talking about. I've seen some videos like that. Tell me a little bit more, and then I've seen a little bit of it, but I haven't focused a lot on MSNBC. I've been focused more on News Nation, CNN, Chris Cuomo, and some other things. Well, we've got a nice barbecue happening over here at night. It's a beautiful night at the park. No gloves on. It's probably still about 58, 57 degrees. You see, like over there, we got a fire going on, like a barbecue. It's fantastic. Wonderful. From the view. What did she get fired for? For stating opinions about Trump? Did this just happen today? If it happened today, then I'm sure I'll hear about it between today and tomorrow. I had yesterday. I wasn't feeling that great, and I took the day off. I did a ton of cleaning last night with my girlfriend Dawn, and so I got to catch up on the last 24 to 36 hours worth of news. But there's so much going on right now. Like even if you take half a day off, you miss something, and it's like it's been overwhelming. But did she get fired for speaking her mind about Trump or calling Trump out or what? They weren't opinions, mostly fabrications. Well, what was she saying? Can you give me an example of what she was saying? We're at 70 minutes an hour and 10 minutes. Wow, this walk went pretty fast today. I've really enjoyed today's show. No, her show got canceled from MSNBC. She has extreme views on race. Okay. That says a lot more, my online 365. But when you say extreme views on race, yeah, that sounds bad, but what context? Let's hear, because some opinions on race can still be justified respectfully, professionally, and maturely. It just depends on. So she's white, right? Can you give me an example of something she said that's highly offensive? Like, I mean, if you guys can give me that in the next 2, 3, 4 minutes or so, because, well, we're going to be going off the air in about 8 to 10 minutes. We're on the third and final lap. Not white? Okay. Is she black? Is she black, and is she basically saying there's a lot of white supremacy going on? Is that what she's saying? Because if that's the case, I have an opinion to share right now. And my white Caucasian counterparts may not like my opinion on this. I've shared it before. Do I think there's still a lot of white supremacy going on nowadays? Absolutely. Probably more than ever. You don't know who Joy Reid? I don't. I don't know her by name. I don't watch The View or MSNBC. I don't watch. I watch so much stuff. I'll look into it. I'll probably hear the story. If the news just broke within the last 24 hours, did this news just break within 24 hours? Because I have not really looked into the last 24 hours. I had a lot going on yesterday. But I'll look into it. I'm just asking you folks. I haven't had time to do my research yet. Once I see her, I'm sure I've seen clips of her. She's infamous? Okay. Well, apparently she hasn't made an impression on me big enough to even really know who she is. And she could be infamous with certain groups of people, and other groups of people probably don't even know who she is, or probably just have heard her talk every now and then and don't know her by name. That's interesting. We all select who we want to listen to, and what we're going to stay tuned into. And apparently she hasn't made a big enough impression on me to even really know who she is. I probably know who she is by face and voice. I probably just don't know her by name. I'm sure when I see these videos, I'll know who she is. Now I'm curious to look into it, because I can talk about this tomorrow. Is she black? Is she African American? I'm just curious because most women, I believe, are African American on The View. Start getting your final questions, comments, or concerns in the chat. We're going to be going off the air in just a few minutes. She will give you plenty of topics to discuss. Yes, she is. Okay. Well, let me tell you this, and this may not even sound right, but I mean well. Like, honestly, right now, I'm a Caucasian man, and I have a lot more respect for the entire African American community than I do for my own Caucasian race. Because most of the MAGAs, if not all the MAGAs, but I'll just say most to be on the safe side here, in my opinion, most of the MAGA men in the Midwest and the South, those states, these are very white supremacist type of men. These are anti-government type of men. These are men that if you disagree with, they want to beat you up realistically, right? These are men that when they don't get their way, they make threats to you, vile threats to you. Some of them do it on the internet and don't take it further. Some of them do it on the internet and take it further. No, I'll check it out because I'm going to guess if she's African American and has extremist views, it typically has to do with white supremacy. And if that is the case, that's right up my alley because I do believe there's a lot of white supremacy still going on. There's a lot of white supremacist men that are wrongfully degrading, African Americans and all other cultures because they think they're the superior race. They think that America should be predominantly white. America is land of the free and home of the brave. And we're a diverse culture, and anyone can have a fair shot of coming here to have a good opportunity as long as they do it right. Your race should have no bearing on that. It should be about the type of person you are. Wow, they're having like some choir in the senior center. Actually sounds like fun. Who calls Trump a Lord and Savior? I haven't seen him refer to as that by any group. Well, that's my saying. It's just a saying. When I say that these MAGAs look at Trump as their Lord, Savior, and Messiah, what I'm saying is that these people will sell their soul to Trump. If Trump says jump, they'll say how high. If Trump says jump off a bridge, they'll jump off a bridge. If Trump wants them to be the sacrificial lamb, same thing. They'll be Trump's sacrificial lamb, right? The respect that people had for Jesus and in Jesus' memory, right? Okay? Jesus is our Lord, Savior, and Messiah, right? Right? Oh, I don't think so. That's an extremist comment. If you think that's an extremist comment, that's great. That's just my opinion, bro. Why do I have to be an extremist to have an opinion like that? Can I just not have an opinion without being an extremist? Because I love everyone, and I want things to be fair and equal amongst everyone. And I don't think we should even have political parties. They create a divide. I think we need to focus more on unity. So I don't know why. If you think that's an extremist remark, then that's great. That's just my opinion on how people are behaving. It's a shitty behavioral aspect. That's what it is. I mean, some people are so weak-minded, right? Some people can't stand on their own and can't think for themselves. They need someone like Trump to dictate every aspect of their life, right? Oh, I didn't think so. That's an extreme. Okay. Okay. Well, that's cool. It's your opinion. It's all good. I bet you that you're probably Raleigh. One of you is probably Raleigh. Raleigh, you're such a sick man. Don't email me anymore, Raleigh. Don't. Don't. Okay? Don't email me. I would appreciate it if you didn't bot me, but I don't care. Like, do what you got. It doesn't affect me at all. But just move on, dude. You're an obsessed, miserable fuck, dude. You're an obsessed dude, right? It's the internet, man. He's gonna keep trolling me till he dies. That's cool, man. You love Eli, bro. You love Eli. You love Eli because you want to be like me. You want to do what I do out here on YouTube, right? Anyway, time to go. With that being said, see you all tomorrow. Have a good one. Take care, and as always, be good to each other. Again, we'll see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow, I will probably be walking from the trail in the early afternoon. Good night, everyone.